Welcome everybody. Today we're gonna have a look at a card game and it's Cabals, Magic and Battle Cards. And I have done a video on a game in this series before. Not this game specifically, but in the same universe. I think it's called Cabals Card Blitz back in February sometime. It's on the channel somewhere and it's nothing like this. But we are gonna have a look at it today, and I think we'll only do one practice run because there's some explanation and stuff. So we'll settle with a practice run today, and we're gonna go into it. And we are gonna go over the interface here. As far as I know, there's no timer in practice mode, so I can take some time before I do action. I haven't really seen any timer at all in online play, even though I know there is one, because one of my opponents timed out. It took too long. Alright, let's start off with the hero. This is my hero, and they have a once per game ability. And this guy's ability is cost resource points, which we'll go into soon. He returns a unit which I own on a non-stronghold tile to my hand, which is down here. And then I can deploy a free unit, no matter what it costs, like this one. If this were a unit, it would be free, even though it cost 8. And it will be on the same tile as the previous card was. And it will be exhausted, which means it can't do any movement or actions during this first turn. But it is increased in strength and health. Alright, that's the hero. You don't attack the hero in this card game at all. The way you win is you have these stronghold tiles. The blue one is ours and the red one is our opponent's. As soon as one card reaches the opponent stronghold tile, you won the battle or the fight. And the other way you can win is by accumulating domination points. And you get domination points. I think you get 1 per stronghold tile. You can only have 1 stronghold, of course, but you get 1 to begin with. That's why we have 1 out of 60 now. And then you can get stronghold points from these, or domination points from the star tiles. 1 per tile. So if you own them, if they are blue, we get 1 per each of those. The next thing is our resource points, which is this one here. That's what the card costs and such. See it as your action points or something. And the card have their costs up in the top left corner. So this one would cost 5. Resource points. You can also lower the cost, so this could cost 4. If you see this little triangle here, that's the loyalty icon. I don't know the name of the different loyalties, but this triangle here is a loyalty, and you can see one of those are grayed out. That is because our hero has this loyalty. So he would have cost 6 if my hero didn't have this. And if I were to play a card which uses this loyalty, except this one, then the second triangle would be grayed out as well, and this card would cost 4 points, resource points. It's a bit, yeah, but it's quite easy to get into. And the way you get resource points is, you see this +2. You get +2 resource points from your stronghold. And then you can capture these tiles, which will give you, this one will give you +1 resource point, and this one would give you +2 alongside the domination points. But the domination points is only 1, of course. But the resource points is the number you see up here. Alright, let's play a card first and foremost, and we can go into that. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so you place this card. you have to play it on a stronghold tile. You can also capture these deployment tiles. There's one up here and one here. If you've captured them, so they are blue, you can then play cards on these 2 tiles as well. But we don't have them now, as they are grayed out. But let's go over the card. So this is the cast, and you can see this guy has a different loyalty to this moon icon, and which most of our other cards has. And this one now cost 4. He would have cost 5 if we did not play this one. And you can see one of those are grayed out, and same for this guy and that one. Right, but this one is still the same. This is the attack of the card, and this is the health. So this is a basic weak card, nothing special with it. And when you played it, play the card, you can move. And if there were enemy card here, I could have attacked immediately. But we will settle with moving, and I'm gonna move over here, I think, because I want to get this +2 resource. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll end the turn. This down here is of course the graveyard, or a discard pile. And this is our card deck. And you need to have 30 cards minimum in your deck before you can play with it. Alright, so he placed a guy here. Undead veterans. He cannot conquer. Right, so he cannot take the stronghold. I haven't seen that before. That's interesting. We only have 2 resource points. We don't have any cards that cost 2. The next one is this, Devourer of the Dead. I really like this card. We'll play it later on. So we will go and capture this tile over here, like such. And now we will get 4 resource points per turn. And you never lose your resource points unless he has an ability, no he does not, unless the enemy hero has an ability to steal all your resource points, or he plays an action card that would do the same. Hopefully he does not. So that means we will have 6 resource points on the next turn, and that is nice, gives us some playing room. But let's end the turn for now. And it's not guaranteed that we will win this fight, but we shall see how it goes. So you can see we have 6 points. We are getting domination points. Alright, this card I need to remember to take out of the deck. I don't like it. I don't. It's a crap card in my opinion. I don't see the point of it. When Duatwalker conquers a tile, he conquers a tile like this one is blue now, just by passing it. He conquers it. Dismiss the top card of your deck. Right, that's a bad thing. He dismisses one of my cards, so it's a bad thing for me. He also has slow attack, which you can see to the right. This unit deals damage after its opponent. Or else, say these 2 here, this guy here and this one, they do attack at the exact same time. So they would take out each other, of course. And he would, if it were between these 2, he would lose 1 health, but he would won over this nonetheless. But they attack at the same time, unless they have there are units that has fast attack. They will have a sword icon, I think somewhere here, and that means they attack before the opponent card. But you can't see it now, but if I would have placed it, he would have a broken sword because he has a slow attack. Enough of that, let's get going. I think I'm gonna move up again, and we're gonna get a new card into play. I like this card, and we can afford it. Jianshi. When Jianshi is targeted by an action card, he gets destroyed. So no matter what the action card does, if he's targeted by it, he will be destroyed. And that's a good reason, because he is very powerful. Because once per turn, he can activate ability, so he receives 0 combat damage that turn. We'll place him up, and we'll activate his ability. It costs nothing, and that's why it's not overpowered, or I mean, that's why it's not that bad that an action card will destroy him. because this one costs 0 and he can move afterwards if he like. But we are just gonna stand in place. No, actually we're gonna move over here. Take this resource. Right, so you can see he can still move and everything. And if he were to attack on this turn, he wouldn't take any damage. So that's quite insane. But let's end the turn. Right, he's very close to winning here now. And that we need to stop. And I am thinking of putting one of these. This one would be nice, of course. No, I think I'm gonna go for this one. Because they will take out each other. He also has an ability, if you can see, once per game. So you can only use this once and then it's used up for the whole remainder of the game. Cost 2 resource, which we have. Deal 1 damage to a target unit. And let's see which unit we would like to take. I probably want this one because he has sacrifice mechanic. If he does that, he destroys his card, but he deals 3 damage to target adjacent unit. So we are gonna take him out, like so. And that used up our resource points. I can also attack, so let's do that. Right, yeah. So he's gone, goodbye. And we will move over here. I will activate this ability. Don't know if that counts on his turn, but we shall see. We'll end the turn. All right, he used his hero ability. Return target unit to its owner hand, which sucks. But we are gonna pull this one up again because I really like it. Right, and we are gonna move up here. Now we open up this deployment tile so we can deploy units here as well, as soon as this one is out of the way, of course. Same goes for these. If there is a unit on it, you can't deploy units there. You'll have to move them out of the way. Alright, and all cards can only move 1 tile at a time as well. Alright, there's nothing else we can do, so we're gonna end the turn. I could activate this just because. It's good to have it in the system to activate them. Let's see what he is. Right, nothing of interest. What he's doing with this card here, he's not moving it, he's only activating it, which takes up his turn, but it generates 1 resource every time he does it for him. We have some of those as well. I don't think we have any on our hand. Nope. Alright, but we're gonna play this Devourer of the Dead, because that is a card I really like. His ability is awesome. Once per turn, so every turn he can do this as long as I have cards here. Remove the top card of your discard pile, which is down here. Cost 1 resource, and Devourer of the Dead gains +1 attack and +1 health. So you'll see he'll use up this card down here, and it will be a 3/3. But he can only do that as long as I have cards down here. All right, let's see if we can come over here and scare him a bit. He'll probably attack, but that will mean he gets weakened. And you are coming over here, and we're gonna activate this ability again. This Steward Walk I'm not gonna use. That's an action card. Dismiss a card from your deck, generate 1 resource and draw a card. We could actually do that just to show it off. Right, this doesn't really change because we only had 1 point, but we didn't use any points by using that card. Alright, yeah, let's end the turn. So far it's looking good, but we shall see. He doesn't really have any good cards to play. We'll activate the ability on this one to make it a 4/4, just to survive this and an attack from him. And you will see now we activate this ability. And he won't take any damage now, but he will take out this card. Like such. And if he does not do anything good on the next turn of his, we will win this game by moving over to this. And we're also in the lead in domination points. Don't know why he hasn't gone for this yet. That's a very bad move of him. Are there anything interesting we can do here? Return the top card of your discard pile to your hand. No. We already used his ability. I think we're gonna go for this one then, Demon of Pools. And I do enjoy the art style or the pictures on the cards. As I've said in my previous video on the game in this universe, they use the same art styles. A lot of, or most of the card games have quite awesome art on them, and I do enjoy it. Alright, we'll move him and we'll place him up. I think I'm gonna go this way in case this one goes away. We'll end the turn. He made a mistake not to deal 3 damage. It wouldn't have helped him, but we have won. There's no use dragging out, so we are just gonna place ourselves here, and that wins us the game. Right? Just like that. Conquered. Very nice. Yep, we stormed the opponent's stronghold, so we won. And there's no ranking or rating or anything here. Influence is the currency of the game, because it's practice. We can have a look at that. Let's see, you have the shop here, of course. You can buy boosters like in all card games. They cost 75 influence. And here you see more of the different icons. So the ones I would buy is this Nether booster, which has our hero icon and the other icon here, which I don't know the name of. They might be called Sons of Osiris and Dragon Enclave and Order of Sahir and Real Society. Yeah, I think that's the name of the Cabals. Right, but they cost 75 influence each, and contains 5 random cards with at least 1 uncommon or better card. You can also buy heroes, which are a bit more expensive. Cost 100, 200, 400. We have this one you start off with. And then I bought this guy here. You only need to buy them once, but they have different abilities, as you can see. Right, and this one has a specialty. Most of them have once per game, but this one is lasting all through the game, of course. He has dual loyalty, which means he has loyalty to this red square and this yellow triangle, instead of only one as the others have. So that's quite nice. You can also buy decks, which are starter decks, complete with hero and 30 cards. Yeah, it says down there, pre-made 30 card deck with 2 rare and 4 uncommon cards. And they cost 300 influence. I bought this, and that's the deck we used in the practice match we had. Right, else you can buy influence with real currency. These are in Norwegian crowns. I'm not sure of the exchange rates right now, but this would be nearly $2, perhaps a little bit less for 200 influence, and then it goes up, of course. So that's the in-game store, and then you open your packs here. Once you have it, they will come here. Right, very basic. Shall we have a quick look at the deck builder? I just call mine Nether, because that's the name of the starter pack. This over here is your deck. You can read the card flair and such. or flavor, whatever you call it, right here, and have a look at the image in better view. You can also convert these. That will convert them into... you convert 10 cards into a single elite version. Elite cards have a golden wreath around them. In classic mode they have 1 less loyalty cost. I don't know what that means. But you need 10 of the same card. So we're missing 8, which means we have 2. And then it will give you 1 elite descending clouds, which will probably be stronger, I suppose. It's very hard finding information in the game about the different stuff. You can also sell it, which would give me 2 influence per card. Right? Very basic, just like in any card really. But this is the deck, and you can see down here I have 30 out of 30 cards. If I were to remove one of the... Oh, actually we are gonna remove. We're gonna remove this Do It Walker. I don't like it. Now it says 29 out of 30 plus, which and this little exclamation mark, which means it's not a complete deck. I need another card, but I think we have some. This one would generate +1 domination point if I use it. Let's have a look here if there's anything else. No. We also have this one. He generates 1 resource point. I think for now we're gonna go for this guy here. You can have more. You can have more than 30 cards, but it's... I think in most card games it's advised that you only have 30. I think that's the norm. To make sure you get your cards drawn as you want. Right, we're gonna remove 1. And we'll save it. It saves when you go back. And I think that about covers it all. In the next episode I'm gonna try and get some online matches. I've had some minor issues waiting, not really finding any, but I have had some online opponents, so hopefully that will work out. And I will of course just cut out all the waiting time. But thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I do hope I see you in the next one. Take care.